Folks, we're here in Washington, D.C., looking at one of the biggest problems growing in America right now. In cities all around the country, homelessness is growing.
At nighttime, you'll see weird things. Men f***ing men, women f***ing women.
And we're here to explore, hear people's stories, and learning more about this issue that's affecting people all over the country. Come with us as we explore. How do you think drugs get to the hood?
The government bring it. Get drag queens in the library? What the f? I gotta say it because you guys.
People that are just surviving.
Welcome to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., where there's money, power, and politics. It's a city where politicians and lobbyists make their fortune. After all, 3 of the 5 richest counties in America are Washington, D.C. suburbs. But amidst this city of luxury and extravagance, there looms a hidden crisis. You see, Washington, D.C. is home to one of the biggest homeless populations in the country. But there's something strange. It isn't out in the open like Skid Row or the Zone in Phoenix. The homeless here are tucked away. They're here, but you have to find them. And today we do just that, hitting the pavement to learn more about the city's homeless issue and speaking to the homeless in their camps.
Today we're in America's capital, Washington, D.C., to explore the issue of homelessness. Per capita, this is actually one of the highest rates of homelessness in the country. And I'm always intrigued by people's stories, how they started as a kid in a house and one day ended up on the street.
It used to be a tent city.
The city cleared everyone out of here?
Yeah.
An encampment built up over 3 years, cleared in just 3 hours.
The McPherson Square encampment will be cleared out on February 15th. There have been high levels of criminal activity and violence at that site.
Is homelessness a big issue in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, it still is.
It seems like the city is doing a good job of trying to make it look like there's not an issue, but there actually is an issue.
Yeah, because I still see tents here and there.
So how long was this place home?
A long time.
So this used to be a good spot for you?
Yeah, because, you know, you had the churches and stuff, they would come here and they would help.
So at one point, this used to be a tent city, and some people might be upset. Hey, why'd you clear those people off? And I see both sides of this. On one end, someone that's in a very hard circumstance, you want them to be able to rest their head somewhere at night, and a public square might be a good fit. But on the other, if you're walking around and there's feces and needles and people doing crazy and mentally ill things, and you live around here, you probably want to clear it out. It's one of those things that it's easy to be sympathetic until it's next door to your house. How you doing?
Good, bro.
Okay.
How's it been?
You look like you're borderline trying to blend in around here.
Yeah, I'm a businessman. I wanted to give the homeless the respect they deserve.
We're having trouble finding homeless people today.
Well, I think this is the most homeless place in America, so we'll be able to find them somewhere. I think there's a bit of a trend there. Los Angeles, one of the richest places. New York, one of the richest places. DC, one of the richest places. All 3 the most homeless places.
You have an interesting blend of chess games going on, and then people that are just surviving. We find all these tents, but there's no one around.
This is turning into a very bizarre adventure we're going on.
It's almost more of a mystery than exploring the actual issue. We have our first person. So tell the people what it's like living out here and what it takes to survive.
But you can't tell people you have money, but I do. I tell them I get Social Security check. And then they come around a certain time of the month, and then I fake believe that people are related to me, so they stay away from me. They got my passport, actually, my birth certificate, and my Social Security card in Miriam's Kitchen safe. They've had it for 3 years now.
That's a place that helps a lot of the community,
They're supposed
right?
to help people with housing. But I've been sending emails for 3 years telling them about the drugs, the alcohol, the prostitution.
Is it bad around here?
Once you go that way, at nighttime, you'll see weird things. Men f***ing men, women, you know, f***ing women.
Oh, you got 2 tents.
Yeah, I had quite
Do you got
a
any
few
roommates?
I don't do roommates.
Is there someone that you feel like is after you or after
All
us?
the time.
Do you want to give us a little tour? So it's pretty bare bones. We got a yoga mat to sleep on, some clothes. How do you get fresh water?
TW has a water hole.
And do you use those to go to the bathroom, or are those?
I use trash bags. There's
What?
no way I'm going in there with my bags.
What's your most important supplies?
Soap and water.
I appreciate
This is bare minimum my necessity. Social Security card.
We'll blur that.
I don't give a f***. You can't hack me. I'm Irish.
Me and Brandon are on a quest to be the best YouTube journalists on the platform. In honor of this, we made a t-shirt of us kicking mainstream media's ass, because after all, we show you the stuff that they won't. Limited edition, check it out, TommyGMcGee.com. You'll look fresh as fuck.
So this is something we've both covered a few times now, and I feel like no matter how many times we cover it, it still doesn't make any more sense. It's still puzzling to get to the bottom of, and I feel like it's a problem that feels like something that will just never go away.
Yeah, it's like a problem that even when you go into these communities and talk to them, they don't seem to have a solution, but they do have a lot of complaints, right? There's something going on in DC that it seems like they're doing it right.
It's important to me to make sure people are comfortable sharing their story with me on camera. So Brandon and I go off and speak with these folks to get the all clear.
How do people survive around here? Because I would imagine it's quite a job surviving.
It depends on the person. Because me, myself, my IQ is 144. So I survive over my wits.
If you were mayor, what would you do to help the homeless issue in Washington, D.C.?
I would fix the fucking pedophile issue first.
What's that?
It's a nasty ass town, I already told you that. Fucking Comet, ping pong, Gordy's. I know all that shit, I don't forget shit. I know they faces too.
Are you talking about Pizzagate?
I could be.
What do you think about Pizzagate?
It's fake. This shit's fucking real, Joe.
How long have you been here for?
9 months.
9 months? Is it hard to survive out here? So how many people live in this area right here?
Too many.
So you sometimes have people move in next door to you that you don't really know.
What's up, chaos, man?
How you doing?
I'm Mike.
What's going on?
I'm Tommy, nice to meet you. If you were mayor of Washington, D.C., what would you do about the homeless situation? What would you do to help people and make sure the city is safe?
Let me tell you why homelessness in metropolitan cities would never be fixed. COVID hit, right? Trump got everybody in the United States money. If you didn't get that money when COVID hit, you're just lazy.
Was that a good idea or a bad idea to give everyone money?
It's a bad idea, man. Look at our budget now. You got regular unemployment, you had the pandemic unemployment. Every homeless person out here was getting $785 a week. You would think that every homeless person out here would be in a house by now.
Not saying against the bullshit ass holiday.
What holiday's bullshit?
Dude, all the holidays are bullshit.
Do you think that Black History Month falls on the right month?
Fuck no. It should be June and Gay Pride should be February. I'll be honest with you, I don't condone that stuff, but I'm not against it either. It's your personal choice. Keep it in your house though. You don't see me off and just doing everything outside. Keep that shit in your house. Stop teaching my children that shit. Children don't know what they're doing till they're 18. That's common sense. Fucking drag queens in the library and they say it's an art.
On top of the free money, you got free clothes, shelter provided to you, the city gives you tents for free. People like you come around, pay $10 a person to do an interview. The churches to come out every Saturday and Sunday, you give out gift cards and all of these things, right? 90% of that is dispersed, goes back into drugs. We're homeless by choice.
Throwing money at the issue is not going to do it, but it's more so making the resources for people.
Resources, that's what I mean. The money, you need more resources.
How common do you think mental illness is in the homeless community?
90%.
How common do you think drug addiction is in the homeless
100%.
community?
I disagree. I think mental illness is 1,000%.
Like, what about childhood trauma?
That starts the drugs. Yeah,
The
that's
females out here, most of them have childhood trauma from molestation, believe it or not.
What the f? I gotta say it because they either give the children dollars to give to the and they think we're stupid. And they got fucking help.
All right, man, well, thank you so much.
What are your takeaways so far?
I was skeptical about the fact that DC offered free housing and free apartments to people, specifically like veterans. I didn't know that they gave free apartments to them. And as we talked to people like that veteran we just spoke to, it's apparently true. So it seems that DC is providing a lot of free housing for people.
If homelessness is something that will never go away, this seems to be the best example of how to merge society with it I've seen so far. Brandon's going to approach and just see if people are interested in telling their story. So there's a lot of tents here. To me, if I was homeless, one of the things I'd be thinking about is having the right things to survive. So you see water supplies, pretty good tents. I mean, protection from the rain. We have a way to get rid of waste. You see some couches for relaxation if you're having a little date maybe. Can you tell the people where we are right now?
We are in Northwest Georgetown, Washington, D.C.
Tell us about yourself, Snoop.
I've been a Washingtonian all my life, born and raised here. Was doing good, COVID hit, hard time set in real bad.
What were you doing before?
I had my own detailing business.
And no one was driving their cars or leaving their houses, so business wasn't good.
I ended up on the streets, started going to get resources and reaching out to different organizations, and got me some employment. Recently purchased me a vehicle.
What is life like out here?
Life is what you make it, you know. As long as you mind your business and don't try not to get involved with nobody else's BS.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're pretty much safe.
Do you mind showing us your setup at all?
Propane, you know, for the stove.
Is that golf club for sport or for self-defense?
Self-defense.
For a home invasion? Yeah. Have you ever had to use it?
No. You know, when it was cold, I got heater.
How is the winter here?
It was brutal. As long as you got some heat and thick blankets, you make it through.
Is the city helpful? Is it not? Like, tell the people about that.
The city is kind of helpful. It's not more so the city, it's more so different organizations that the cities get funding. They come around with sleeping bags, toiletries, water, shaving, you know, whatever you need. They come around, or you can go around the corner to the local churches.
So if someone busts in through the tent, you're gonna turn into Tiger Woods, huh?
Oh yeah, I got you.
If you were mayor, what would you do to help the homelessness?
First of all, you have two different kind of homeless. You have homeless that deal with, you know, mental illness.
Yeah.
And then you have homeless that just fell on hard times trying to get back on their feet.
So there's some people that are living paycheck to paycheck, which is a good portion of Americans right now. I think 60%. It takes one thing, a medical accident, a car accident with no insurance, to derail your life and you're here.
Yeah.
There's another population that are mentally ill.
Mentally. The city needs to reach out and do more for them.
In the homeless community, what percent of people you think have had childhood trauma?
60%.
What percent do you think have drug abuse issues?
20%.
And what percent do you think have mental illness?
40%.
How do you dispose of all the trash here? I see there's a buildup. Does someone come by and pick that up?
The city come past and pick it up tomorrow. Maybe.
I have to say, I've been to a lot of cities in America. I actually think that Washington, D.C. is doing a fantastic job. They're keeping things very clean. It seems like the homeless people here are pretty happy as you can be, that they're doing their best with resources. Would you give them an A on their performance, or what would you say the government deserves on their performance for taking care of people?
I give them an A.
Yeah. So do people visit the camps once a month, once a week?
I have a counselor come past once a week.
Really?
Check on me.
How much does he or she help?
A whole lot. Hopefully on the 15th I'll be moving.
Really? Is this a separate camp or is this the same kind of?
No, this is a separate camp. You know, I call this the wild side.
This is the wild side?
You know, this is where it go down there.
Yeah.
How is it living out here?
It's actually all right, man. You know what I mean? It sucks that, you know, no running water, no electricity. What really sucks is how the park police can just come in and search us anytime they want. Like, they came in and they saw some brown powder on a mirror, a hot chocolate packet that exploded, and they used that to search my tent and take my weed pipe, you know? So it's kind of shitty how they can do that.
This is your car.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be surprised to see someone living in the woods you have a nicer car than I do.
I'm also a football coach.
Oh yeah? You even got tinted windows. How often do you have to worry about break-ins and your stuff being stolen?
No.
After exploring the camps in the woods, Snoop wanted to take us to an important location, Miriam's, a kitchen that serves a lot of the homeless people in the area. So we walked and talked.
Some people on the hardcore small government side would say it should be zero funding for the homeless. They're here because of their own choice. Why do I gotta pay for that? What do you say to those people?
Open up your eyes, because in a heartbeat you could be in the same position I am. Stock market crash, anything can happen. All your money gone, what you gonna do then?
It does seem like civilization is hanging by a thread right now. Do you feel like that?
Yeah.
Do you think things are actually gonna get much worse in this country?
The way it look like it, yeah, before it get any better.
Yeah. America's not perfect, we can do a lot better, but overall it is a very good place to live.
Very good place to live.
How much money do you need a day to survive?
I would say no more than $40 a day to survive. And that's only because Marion feeds you twice a day. So the only thing you really need money is for lunch. And then you have some churches around here that feed you lunch. Food is really not an issue.
Tell the people where we are right now.
This is Miriam's kitchen.
And this is a big part of the community, right?
Yep.
How's dinner today? What's on the menu?
They got beef stroganoff. They got a good dinner down there. Biggest shelter in the world is what? Welfare. Let me explain why welfare is the biggest shelter. Because you in a place that you cannot own. You in a household where there's a parent. And that money does not last for the whole month. So the last 2 weeks out of the month, there's no money, there's no food. Because some states don't have pantries.
Are you saying welfare incentivizes parents not to be in the house?
Yes, welfare is the system to to make you fail because they made property count and people sunk into it. Because everybody don't have an opportunity to get a good job and a career because everybody can't go to college. Even financial aid puts you in debt. Everything is a trap.
Well, folks, that's a wrap. And I think we had to cover, a rather positive story. Things are going well around here, and I think other cities in the country should model this because I think this is a good solution. What do you think?
Great solution. They had more help like this out here, things would go a lot smoother.
So people are fed, people are happy, people have a place to sleep that's relatively comfortable and nice. And I think that's humans coming together to solve an issue, which is what we're here for. So any final thoughts, Snoop?
No, sir. Y'all have a great one. Be looking out for me in the future.
All right. We'll see you next episode. Peace. Folks, hope you enjoyed this episode. You want to watch another? Here. You want to subscribe? Over here. See you next week.